big game that happened. Texas and Ohio State went down, and it was what I expected, and it was not what a lot of people expected. Ohio State wins in Columbus, Ohio, 14-7. This was a defensive game, not much offense. There was some, some offense. The game that was won behind the trenches. Um, the highlight, the storyline was Arch Manning. He definitely did struggle in this game. He definitely got tested. He went 17 for 30 for 170 yards in this game. He had one interception. Um, he it was a bad game for Arch Manning though, man. It was not what a lot of people expected, and it wasn't what I expected also. I expected a little bit more, but then again, this is Ohio State that we are talking about. This is the defending champions. They don't got the players that they had the previous season, but this team always reload, man. And they I think Ohio State definitely did enough. The quarterback play with Julian saying also, he wasn't under the microscope, but he made the necessary plays that he needed to make. Um, and yeah, man, Ohio State wins this game. Ohio State jumped in this game early. Missed opportunities by Texas also, but Arch Manning in this game. Like I said, Arch Manning definitely struggled. He didn't look like himself. It wasn't the game that I expected. He didn't control the game. He didn't take over the game. He didn't let the game come to him. He looked bothered. He looked, he looked nervous, and I felt like he didn't play with a lot of confidence in this game. That's actually one of the reasons why I picked Ohio State, because you're going on the road, you're going against the defending champions in a hostile environment. I don't care who you are, you're gonna struggle at this type of a game with this type of magnitude, especially and there was a lot of people said there was a lot of expectations with this because Ohio State being ranked number one, Arch Manning as a Heisman favorite, and now the talk about is that we're putting too much expectations on Arch Manning. See, Steve Sarkeesian even said that too. I think Steve Sarkeesian is an idiot. He's just defending his player. He's just defending his quarterback at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, man, we put this expectations on Arch Manning. Arch Manning is a Manning at the end of the day. He's been having this hype and these expectations. So why are we going to remove it now after one game and you see him struggle? So I just don't get that at all. Expectations are going to be there. They ain't going anywhere. Just imagine if Texas would have won this game, we would have been talking about Arch Manning this, Arch Manning that, Arch Manning, yo, he's going to win the Heisman. So you can't move the goalposts just because you lose a game. I just don't think that's right. I just don't think that's fair. The expectations are going to be there. They ain't going anywhere. The expectations was set by the media. The expectations was set by the football fans. And you could say it was set by Steve Sarkeesian and everybody that was surrounding Texas, because they knew they wanted Arch Manning to be that guy. They've been wanting him to be that guy. When Quinn Ewers decided to leave, they said, "Yo, we got our guy." When we seen Arch Manning for a couple games, people were excited about, it, including me. I love Arch Manning. I'm an Arch Manning guy. But we cannot move the goalposts when it comes to Arch Manning. Though we can't say, okay, let's lower these expectations for him. No, the expectations has been there. The hype and the expectations has been there since he entered the University of Texas. He's a Manning, so it's not going anywhere, and it's definitely gonna be there. I think there's and I think people are starting to panic right now down in Texas. It's only his first game. It's his first game. They took an L. Like it's not the end of the world, man. Like we're over here talking about can he recover? We putting too much expectations on him. Like we doing all of that right now, man. I just feel like we doing a little too much right now when it comes to Arch. You got to think of a lot of things that comes into play. Like you look at, he's coming his first year as a starting quarterback for the University of Texas. He's a favorite to win the Heisman. They were ranked number one overall in the preseason polls. They're favored to win the SEC. And he's a Manning, so it's like, I mean, I just don't understand that though. And you took your first loss against the defending champions in Ohio State. That's tough, man. That ain't easy. It don't matter who you are. Like you're gonna deal with certain things like this though, man. And every quarterback goes through these growing pains though, man. So I mean, and there's nothing to be worried about because Texas, their next three games is pretty much an easy schedule. So we're gonna see how you know Arch Manning bounce back in these upcoming next 3 weeks because he has a matchup um th- um a matchup against actually three straight home games against San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston State. Um, the next four in October, they're gonna be in SEC play, so it's gonna be really tough, and it's gonna be a challenging to see how Arch possibly overcomes this because they gotta go to the swamp down in Florida. The Red River rivalry against Oklahoma. Some dude named John Mateer, he's looking good over there, man. So they better be careful. They got a matchup against Kentucky, and then they also have a back to back with Kentucky and Mississippi State. Uh, Leading up to those matchups. So we're gonna see what Arch Manning and Texas is made out of because this is a new roster and it's a new team. So you still got Baxter and all that. The defense was good though at the end of the day. They definitely held held them to what, like 14 points. Yeah, they held them to Ohio State to only 14 points. That was pretty good, pretty impressive. So this is something not to look down on. You lost, like I said, you lost to Ohio State. That's who you lost to. It did take Arch a while to get going in this game, though. He had a huge touchdown at the end, but he did some nice things though. He was good at scrambling, good at moving outside the pocket. I did feel like he forced a couple of throws. But he's still a young quarterback, rookie quarterback in the end of the day, and he's gonna go through his growing pains. And he's still gonna be a household name. He's gonna still be talked about. So lowering the expectations for them is basically saying you scared. It's basically saying that like you scared of smoke. That's what it's saying. If Arch Manning is really that guy, then say that you're that guy and come back and bounce back. That's all it is.